So I was thinking, right? If we're about to get robots at an alarming rate, like you're going to see robots everywhere pretty soon, mowing people grass, walking people dogs, just everywhere. Give us dinosaurs then. I feel like dinosaurs could be our way to, I don't know, fight back the robots. I don't know, man. I ain't smoked nothing today. I have not smoked anything. But we need something to be able to combat these robots. Bring back dinosaurs. Hey, it's all downhill from this point, so why not? You know what I mean? But either way, this video here, man, is new discoveries suggest dinosaurs coexisted with early humans. Let's get to it.
And when did steppe bisons go extinct?
12,000 years ago.
Wow. And so the permafrost is slowly melting, and you're hosing it down and pulling it. So the stench is literally like this ancient, rotting biological material.
It stinks.
Wow.
Our world is shrouded in mystery. We only know our history through the eyes of mere historians.
After looking at that, maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe that was a bad idea. Because they're absolutely going to turn on us. Once they destroy the robots, they're going to turn on us.
Might have passed is all unknown to us. Imagine a world where dinosaurs and early humans walked the earth together. Sounds like science fiction, right? But discoveries are challenging that notion and suggesting that these ancient giants and our early ancestors might have coexisted. In this video, we'll explore the groundbreaking findings that are shaking up our understanding of the past. Get ready to dive into this thrilling mystery and rethink everything you thought you knew about prehistoric life. Number 1. Ecostones.
I have photographed some 100 of it in a collection in the city of Ica. And there was an old Professor Dr. Cabrera. The Indians brought him stones from all over the country of Peru. And on these stones you see fantastic engravings.
The fact that humans and dinosaurs coexist seems far-fetched, but in 1961, a Peruvian farmer named Javier Cabrera accidentally found stones in his field. These extraordinary stones had engravings depicting animals and humans with extreme precision. The carvings showed dinosaurs and other animals interacting with humans. Since that day, they have become a great topic of debate and have had their authenticity questioned by many scientists.
Now, seeing those depictions, right? These images of humans right alongside dinosaurs like that lets me know or should give us a glimpse of hope. Because you wouldn't think that possible, that dinosaurs and humans were able to coexist and humans survived. They figured out how to survive the dinosaur era with them. Like, so maybe we can survive these robots. I don't know why I continue to make that comparison, but it's giving me that thought of, okay, if they did that, then we can definitely survive. It ain't gonna be easy, but we can possibly survive.
Others, however, believe that these artifacts represent evidence of our mysterious past. The Ica stones are truly amazing. These stones raise questions about the broken time we may have skipped in history. Whether genuine or fabricated, the Ica stones capture the imagination, blurring the lines between myth and history. Number 2, Acambaro figures. In 1944, Valdemar Julzard claimed to have stumbled upon mysterious figurines near Acambaro, Mexico. These statues quickly caught interest as they depicted the interaction of humans and dinosaurs. These clay figures challenge conventional timelines of human history, suggesting a world where humans and dinosaurs coexisted. Critics quickly dismissed them as fabrications, but supporters have argued much of our history is tampered with and rest unknown. Some supporters believe that these figurines are left behind by interdimensional aliens who could travel back to the times of the dinosaurs and bring knowledge to the Central Americans. These artifacts continue to puzzle researchers and enthusiasts and are a testament to the mysteries of our ancient past. Number 3, Prohm stegosaurus. We often go to ancient ruins and find engravings of animals and humans that give us an insight into the ancient world. One such engraving in the heart of Cambodia's Prohm temple captivated many, resembling a truly prehistoric creature. The stegosaurus, this carving, was among many carvings of animals in the Prohm temple. Did the artists of Khmer in ancient times possess a concept of the dinosaurs, or is it just a coincidence? Critics often dismiss it as an anachronistic anomaly.
That's not a coincidence, because I feel like a person who studied dinosaurs their entire life, or even half of that time span, can come and probably identify everyone we just saw in these carvings. So for me, that's a confirmation. That ain't no coincidence.
Yet the carving continues to intrigue, challenging our understanding of history and prehistoric life. As for the given stegosaurus, irrespective of its etymological history, it has remained an enigmatic symbol of mysteries still hidden within ancient art. Number 4, Paluxy River Tracks. In the quiet riverbeds of Paluxy, Texas, an intriguing discovery ignited passionate debates in both scientific and enthusiast circles. The Paluxy tracks depicted the amazing scenario of giant humans living and standing alongside dinosaurs. Huge human footprints alongside different species of dinosaurs were unearthed from layers of sediment on the tracks of a dried-up riverbed. For some, this is solid proof that the world of giants and dinosaurs was real. The supporters of the idea claim that the tracks are numerous and realistic in their appearance to a great extent and give people an exciting insight into their common past. Critics, on the same note, explain that the tracks cannot be genuine giant tracks, but are fake by people trying to create controversy. Number 5, fossilized footprints of humans. The notion that humans and dinosaurs may have lived in the same timeline is a captivating one and is very intriguing. Dinosaurs may not have walked on Earth 2.5 million years ago, but the world was very different from what we have today. Scientists have unearthed fossilized footprints of ancient humans that offer fascinating insights into their world. In places like Litoli in Tanzania, footprints of early humans, believed to be Australopithecus afarensis, were preserved in volcanic ash about 3.6 million years ago. These footprints are of one of our old ancestors and provide a snapshot of their behavior and environment, illustrating how early hominids walked and lived. Number 6, Kachina Bridge, Utah dinosaur. Another piece of evidence for the ancient coexistence of humans and dinosaurs lies on the walls of the Kachina Bridge in Utah. At the base of the Kachina Bridge in Utah's Canyonlands National Park are myriad petroglyphs sparking imagination and debate. People visit the arch of the bridge and gaze up at the carvings made by people who lived 1,000s of years ago. These petroglyphs, created by the ancestral Puebloan, depict various figures and different symbols on the rock, which illustrate the culture and religion of the creators. The rock art near Kachina Bridge has abstract forms and stylized animals, and some look like that of a dinosaur with a long neck and a curved tail.
See, this is more confirmation that they I believe more now than ever that they coexisted. And here's one way they could have survived: deep in these caves, living in these caves. Do I see a dinosaur running up in these caves? Absolutely. Not the big ones. They can't get up in there, so you will have to more so worry about the smaller ones. But you could totally survive deep in a cave, fire to kind of keep them out, protect yourself, get a ventilation in the cave. We've seen time after time this art on the walls of the cave, the insides of the cave, depicting different animals and stuff. So to me, I think the writing for, you know what I mean, no pun intended, is on the wall. That says it. It's giving us the proof.
Scientists say it is more probable that these motifs are a depiction of the Native American everyday practices, spiritual life, and view of their culture. The petroglyphs in Kachina Bridge provide an interesting view into the past in a way that invokes the viewer's curiosity, as well as the meanings and narratives that can be gained from these contemporary desert paintings. Number 7. Dinosaur petroglyphs around the world. Around the world, there have been sightings of petroglyphs with giant lizards, and they have raised questions for us all. Were there some dinosaurs left that coexisted with ancient humans? In Algeria's Tassili Naja cave complex, some rock art features large, reptilian figures that some interpret as dinosaurs, although most scholars believe they represent symbolic or mythical creatures. Number 8. Dragons were dinosaurs. Those who love folklore are familiar with dragons. But did you know that the dragons might be connected to dinosaurs as well? Dragons are the representation of the real dinosaurs, combining mythology and archaeology. Culturally, dragons make up an inseparable part of the folklore around the world. Be it the European dragon, which is portrayed as a gigantic fire-breathing reptile, or the serpentine dragons of Asia. Many of them are similar to dinosaurs, large reptiles with scales and sometimes wings. When early humans saw large unknown bones or fossil footprints, they might have thought they were dragon bones or dragon footprints, and this molded their interpretation into myths. Number 9.
And see, this is why you can't rule out things like the Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. You can't, because if you believe dinosaurs once ruled the earth and walked the earth, then how is it far-fetched that the Loch Ness Monster, who totally resembles a dinosaur from prehistoric times, how can you rule that out and say it just does not exist? Like, it makes it hard with some of the arguments that people make. Like, if you believe this, then how can you not somewhat entertain this?
Klerksdorp Sphere. Nestled among layers and layers of ancient rocks, the Klerksdorp spheres are controversial and puzzling. They were found embedded in 3 billion-year-old pyrophyllite deposits in the Klerksdorp region of South Africa. These spheres were composed of nickel-steel alloy. The spheres are polished and often feature intricate grooves that look like ball markings, suggesting that they were made by intelligent beings. Number 10. Carbon dating of a Triceratops in Montana. There is new research that challenges the conventional timeline of dinosaur extinction. In 2012, a Triceratops browhorn found in Montana was carbon dated to be approximately 33,500 years old. Triceratops first appeared around 68 million years ago and is known to have disappeared 66 million years ago. Thus, it was not expected that this dinosaur would still be around at this time. Radiocarbon was detected in various fossils, including those from the Mesozoic and Paleozoic eras, contradicting the millions of years assumption presented in popular media like Jurassic World. The research involved testing dinosaur bones and other ancient samples in multiple laboratories with consistent results showing radiocarbon presence. Critics argue that contamination might explain these findings, but the rigorous testing procedures aim to eliminate such possibilities. Number 11. The Sivatherium of Kish. A copper rain ring dating back to about 3,500 BC was discovered in ancient Kish, indicating the survival of the Sivatherium, which is a colossal giraffid thought to have died out 1 million years prior. The amulet portrayed an animal, Sivatherium, that lived in the regions of the Indian subcontinent. and Africa from the late Miocene to the early Pleistocene era. An analysis of this artifact proved that this prehistoric creature indeed lived with Sumerians. More evidence to support this are paintings of animals similar to Sivatherium that were depicted in the dinosaur ages of Sahara and central West India, proving that the dinosaur might have lived up to about 8,000 years ago. These findings suggest that Sivatherium might have survived until the epoch of early Mesopotamian civilizations and mixed with the ancient people. Should the reality of such findings be confirmed, it could mean that some of the prehistoric species might have been around much longer than has been assumed. Number 12. The Aurochs. Dinosaurs were not the only animals that used to walk alongside the animals, but many animals walked the earth that are not present today. The Aurochs is an extinct breed of ox, the direct ancestor of modern cattle, that lived in an era that was inhabited by large, prehistoric animals and early humans. They roamed in Europe, Asia, and North Africa. These giant creatures had notably long horns that curled forward and muscular bodies that dominated ancient terrains. Although not dinosaurs, the Aurochs represent a living link to an era of ancient megafauna that endured alongside.
So basically, they were eating oxtails as well back then. You know what I mean? Like, you know, everybody eating ox. I'm sorry, I had to, bro. Because as soon as he said ox, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. Like, oh man, they was eating oxtails back then. My bad. I'm telling you, yeah. That's what goes on in my brain, and it just comes out. I'm sorry.
Early humans. Their representation in cave paintings, such as that in Lascaux, indicates how these animals were placed in the social construct of prehistoric societies and how their history merged with that of men. Number 13. Barbary lion. The Barbary lion was an ancient native inhabitant of North Africa. This was a giant among animals and played a very important role in the ancient world. Even though it is not a dinosaur, the Barbary lion is a descendant of the age of the giants of the prehistoric world. Barbary lions vanished in the wild at the beginning of the 20th century as the result of hunting by the humans and destruction of their natural habitat. The last wild Barbary lions were reported to have been killed in 1922, while the subspecies continued to be bred for captivity. Their presence in human history, coupled with their impressive stature and regal appearance, highlights their deep connection to both ancient times and the evolutionary lineage that stretches back to the era of dinosaurs.
We was some savages back then. The fact that we was taking down lions, no guns, mind you, just spears and different tools they designed and carved and made up and stuff like that. Taking down lions. Yeah, that was us back in the. That's our ancestors. That's right. That was us.
Number 14. The behemoth and tannin. Does the Bible happen to mention the dinosaur? Well, yes. In fact, it is mentioned many times. Some skeptics might argue that dinosaurs are not mentioned in the Bible, but remember that the term dinosaur did not come into usage until the early years of the 20th century. Other interpretations suggest that it is these prehistoric giants that early historians were hinting at. Two examples worth mentioning are tannin and behemoth. The term tannin is used in such books as Genesis and Isaiah. Its translations include dragon or serpent. It could refer to giant reptiles similar in size to dinosaurs or prehistoric reptiles, but it is better known to mean mythical sea creatures or serpents rather than individual dinosaurs. Number 15. Leviathan. In the Bible, the Leviathan is mentioned as a savage sea creature, often depicted as a dragon or sea monster from the sea, known from the book of Job, Job 41, also referred to in Psalms and Isaiah. The large plates or circles interpreted as scales on its body, a large mouth, and several stories that it could breathe fire make some people think that it is a representation of a large marine reptile like the ichthyosaur or plesiosaur. This idea has been drawn from the creature and its dramatic characterization, as well as its nature of having robbed the ancient seas of order and treating them with havoc. Large marine fossils could have been found by the early people, and these were incorporated into their myth systems as the Leviathan. While there is no direct evidence linking the Leviathan to specific water dinosaurs, the biblical depiction, combined with ancient mythological parallels, offers a fascinating perspective on how the Leviathan might reflect real prehistoric marine life. Number 60.
Maybe alligators were once dragons, and evolution just changed them. They just evolved into something. They adapted to how the planet changed, and this is their look now. But maybe back then they were something different. We all heard the different scientific theories about how things were once huge and things changed, the environment changed, and they no longer, or the teeth were pointy and then it changed to kind of like our teeth. Like, we've all heard different theories. So why couldn't that be one? That they were once this, or certain animals were this, and then they evolved into this. No longer had the long necks. Their necks were shorter now. I totally believe in that theory.
Marco Polo recordings. One of the accounts of the ancient world is the travels of Marco Polo, the Venetian explorer, where he comes across an animal that in some ways could be a dinosaur. As described in the travelogue by Marco Polo in the 13th century, there was a rather terrifying animal in the area of the Gobi Desert. The creature was reported to have a slender body that resembled a worm, a large head like that of a crocodile, and a tail like that of a serpent. This picture depicts a monster that is commonly associated with large, outstanding reptiles. Polo gave specific descriptions of the size and behavior of the beast. Thus, people hoped that it was a dinosaur or a prehistoric animal of similar size. Although there is no solid base of proof for this claim, the depiction of Polo as a mesmerizing describer and the creature resembling prehistoric reptiles make the story extremely interesting. Such a hypothetical association of humans and dinosaurs with Marco Polo's reports exemplifies the combination of travel and unknown creatures and ideas, proving invaluable for demonstrating how myths and scientific findings can be closely connected. Number 17. Dogon tribe, Africa. For over 200 million years, crocodiles have captivated and terrified humanity with their ancient presence. The Dogon tribe of Mali, Africa, is renowned for its ancient traditions, which intersect with theories about dinosaurs. The Dogon possess remarkable astronomical knowledge, including details about the Sirius star system, which they have known long before modern astronomy confirmed these facts. This ancient knowledge has led some to speculate that the Dogon might have had access to information from ancient times that includes references to creatures resembling dinosaurs. In particular, Dogon art and folklore contain depictions of large reptilian creatures. The Dogon's traditional stories speak of creatures that might bear resemblance to the large reptiles known from the fossil record. While mainstream science does not support a direct historical link between the Dogon and dinosaurs, these intriguing cultural elements fuel speculation and highlight the rich tapestry of oral history and myth. Number 18. Dire wolves. Dire wolf, the large carnivorous mammal who lived in the Pleistocene epoch, is a living link between the Cretaceous period and prehistoric men. While dinosaurs disappeared about 65 million years ago, the dire wolves survived, along with the early man, for about 9,500 years. New DNA studies in 2021 showed that despite the barreling resemblances with today's grey wolf by convergent evolution, dire wolves are not genetically related to modern grey wolves. Their closest living relative is therefore the African jackal. This inevitably changes the vision of their family background. This creature was truly gigantic for a canine. Dire wolves were mostly larger than modern wolves and had a more potent bite. Hypothetically, their extinction, although they appeared large and flexible, may have happened because of the absence of large animal food sources, because of climatic changes, as well as because of hunting by the early human beings. Number 9.
And see, that was another reason for them to evolve right there. Climate change, food sources wasn't as abundant as before, so they had to get smaller in order to survive longer. Like, those are all the reasons that I was stating earlier.
19. The mammoth. The huge-sized mammal known as woolly mammoth was very important in the lives of early humans. These giant beasts inhabited the icy terrain of North America and Eurasia approximately 4,000 years ago. According to anthropologists, woolly mammoths played a crucial role for the ancient people. Food was scarce. Mammoth meat was vital, especially in those cold regions. The skin of a mammoth was utilized to make garments and to construct a bunya for shelter from the cold climate. Their bones and tusks were necessary for making tools, weapons, and artwork. The remnants of the materials used by ancient people found in Ukraine prove that those people well utilized every part of the mammoths, even for building constructions like mammoth bone huts. Ivory was particularly valued, and due to its relatively soft structure, it was used to produce complex engravings and other significant items addressing spiritual and social life in early cultures. Mammoths were not only significant as a resource, but also as objects of worship and legends in the historical mythology of people. Their legacy lives on, reminding us of the profound connections between humans and the natural world in prehistoric times. Number 20. Mastodon. Mastodons, which were prehistoric cousins to the elephants, were found in North America in those early ages, stood at about 10 feet and had curved tusks, long necks, and a hump on the back, which made them suitable for the environment. Records of their presence and contact with the initial people are seen in fossils as well as Paleolithic cave paintings. These petroglyphs that have been found in many areas in North America prove that mastodons played a significant role in the existence of prehistoric man. Number 21. Giant ground sloths. We may think of sloths as slow and sluggish, but their ancestors were poles apart. The giant ground sloth, an extinct large animal, inhabited the Americas. Standing 2 to 4 meters on the hind limbs alone and measuring up to 20 meters in length in total, this...
I also see another way for humans to keep warm back then. Look at the fur on this thing. See, I'm trying to look at it through their eyes and also keep that in mind just in case we have to go back to living in caves. And we're going to need to be able to, okay, this animal would be perfect for a source of food, fiber, protein, whatever we need, and also to keep us warm. Like, we're going to have to, eventually, if we go back to those times, we're going to have to be in that mindset. So looking at this animal, being able to say, all right, how are we going to break this thing down? You know how some people can take a deer and they can, slice it down, open it up, separate the meat, carve it up, everything like that. Now they got food for a long time, freezer full of food. Like, this type of stuff is going to be, I think it's going to be important.
This giant was incomparable to any present large mammal. Being an excellent climber with sharp claws, the giant ground sloth could dig large tunnels called paleo burrows, which could have been used for living and breeding purposes. Fossilized remains and rock art from South America confirm its existence, with cave paintings that depict crude images of sloth-like creatures. These ancient mammals were contemporaries of other giant animals, for instance, the mammoths and giant armadillos. Today's closest living affiliates are modern three-toed sloths, but none of them can be compared in size and majesty to the prehistoric animals. Number 22, thylacine, Tasmanian tiger. Tasmanian tiger, or the thylacine, had inhabited Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea until the beginning of the 20th century. Not a tiger, but a marsupial. It had a body build and a pattern of stripes on its back and tail that earned it the tiger nickname. The thylacine was a marsupial that looked like a large dog or a kangaroo. Thylacine was a marsupial, carnivorous, and nocturnal, which fed on some small mammals, birds, and insects. Several causes that led to the extinction of this animal include hunting, destruction of habitat, and diseases. The last specimen of the thylacine was said to have been alive in 1936. The thylacine is still remembered as one of the many lost species and as one of the continuing problems of wildlife protection. Number 23, glyptodon. The glyptodon was a wildly outrageous prehistoric beast, approximately the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, that looked like a giant armored armadillo. These large animals were identified to live in South America during the Pleistocene period of between 2 million and 10,000 years ago. Glyptodons had a thick, armor-like body shield that constituted of many bony plates that made them prey to animals and hard to have an easy way through the armor. As for the shell, unlike its descendants, it was conical and was formed by large hexagonal plates. Fossils of glyptodons have been seen in fossilized remains and fossilized shell fragments in South America. Number 24, saber-toothed cat. Saber-toothed cats, such as the Smilodon, shared the Pleistocene epoch with early hominids. Complementing the large, sharp, and curved canines, saber-toothed cats were hypercarnivorous, formidable predators that preyed on large herbivores like giant ground sloths.
I'd like to not bring that one back. Let's leave him in the past. Let's not bring this joker back right here. Yeah. He would be a problem.
At the same time, early humans, who were quite intelligent due to the use of better tools and effective hunting techniques, were efficient hunters as well. Human beings, who hunted in groups, occasionally hunted these predators. Saber-toothed fossils show haste and signs of confrontation and cooperation between early humans. These fossils depict the kind of relationship the two had as hunters and mighty predators. Number 25, avian dinosaur, birds. Did you know that dinosaurs are part of the world even today? They coexist with humans in the form of birds, or what has evolved from the ground, dwelling dinosaurs 66 million years ago. A massive event resulted in the loss of the majority of the dinosaurs and forests. Some dinosaurs that were equipped with feathers were able to evolve for survival. These survivors developed into the basic form of birds that existed on the surface of the Earth. These early bird species evolved and suited themselves to different conditions that are evident in present-day birds.